But I was
right.
going to say, it's crazy because the last time I had you on here, I went back and watched it, and it's like, because you do things in such succession, like you do them, it's like going to open mics. When you do it over and over and over and over and over again, it just starts to become a thing that you do, and you get better at it without noticing. And then you watch a clip of you doing it the last time when you thought you were the exact same, and it was like a few months ago, and you're like, oh my God, like why did I do this? Why did I do this?
Yeah.
But you didn't even notice that those things gradually got better until you went back and looked at it. Like I was watching our episode, and I was just thinking, damn, bro, I'm a podcast god, you know? That's what I was thinking.
Dude, like, yeah. Like you yourself, like you thinking like
because I've done so many.
Yeah, dude, you've been on it.
So this is episode 161. That episode was just like a few months ago. We were at you were 108. So
108.
Yeah,
congratulations,
like 53
man.
episodes past, and I got to thank you, sir, because you've sent some people my way, some fantastic individuals. Owen Monahan, that's my most viewed clip of the podcast
really
ever. It's at like 840,000 views on Instagram.
Well, is it like a clip or like the whole thing?
The clip.
A clip. Okay.
It's him talking about Diogenes the Cynic, and it's just crazy, dude, because it's like random shit like that is really the stuff that matters the most. Just random little moments that you don't even realize are happening, you know? Like when I met you, I didn't realize you were going to send me these people.
Oh, dude, no,
it's like a snowball effect, and it's just crazy. Like, do you ever look back at your comedy career and just see all these things that snowballed into other things, you know?
Yes. I've been seeing it a lot, been feeling it a lot lately. And like, I think when I after I left here, I see you're creating something. I'm trying to create something. So I'm like, we should have a mentality of like, let's just help each other. Like, let's just send each other's way and like give everybody an opportunity, because things can only go better from there. But
right. I mean, I hope that people watch my podcast and find comics through it. You know, like that's what I'm hoping for, is that they see somebody and they're like, oh, I really like this person.
Yeah.
I'll check them out.
Yeah, no, immediately, like, I think the Wednesday after I did yours, I was at Milo's open mic, and I was like, you guys should all go to this podcast. But yeah, no,
you know, I'm trying to remember who told it to me, but I had, I'm not going to remember his name right now, but it's Milo's, or not Milo, but Owen's roommate. And it's just Jim Balderson.
Jim Balderson,
yeah,
great,
and
amazing guy.
I just had him on like a week or two ago, and it's funny because he was telling me him, and then I think Milo, like they tell me, he says my podcast is the best podcast of all time. He always comments like it's like the greatest podcast. I think he said I should have George Carlin on here, is what he told me.
Okay,
but he's like praising my show. Like, it's like literally stuff I would ask people to say, and then they never would. Like, he's doing it for me.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think it's like his advertising mechanism is what I've realized. Like, when he goes to his open mic, he's like, greatest open mic of all time. This is the best open mic of all time. And I kind of love it. It's like saying I'm the best in Chicago. We're the best hot dogs in Chicago.
The best hot dogs.
You just have to say
the
it.
best. Yeah, no, Jim is a great guy to have in your corner, man. Like,
I'm talking about Owen. Owen said all that.
Owen said that.
But Jim told me that Owen said that, and Milo told me that.
Okay.
Like through the grapevine, I heard
Owen as
that
well. Yeah, Owen's amazing.
Owen is my biggest hype man, is what I learned.
He's so funny too. He's been doing really well as well. Like, I think he won or got second place at an open mic at my buddies. He's gonna be on my next show. That must
be if it's my buddies. I imagine that would have to be the Gauntlet, because that's the competitive open mic.
There's a few. This one's might be the Gauntlet. I think is at O'Donnell's.
Oh, you're right.
Way up north. Yeah,
you're right.
No, this one I forget the name of it. I think it's Take a Shot open mic. It's Sunday nights.
Right.
I might go tomorrow night. I don't know yet, because it's Sunday nights. I got to work Monday morning, and it's pretty late in the night. But to answer your other question, yeah, I have felt it snowballing. Like, I remember when I moved here from Amsterdam to Chicago. I'd done comedy for a year, but then I was like, I got to start over. Like, I got to start over in July. I was like, nobody knows me here. I got to go back to the open mics. Because in Amsterdam, I was at the level of showcases. I'm getting paid. I'm getting asked to host. But here, nobody knows me. And it's the U.S., which is like the mecca of comedy. So now you really got to prove yourself.
Do you think, like, why do you think that is? Just because you established yourself there and now you're here in a different place?
Like, what do you think? What is that I had to start over?
Well, yeah, that there's so much of a difference. Like, do you think it's just that you moved and everything's different? It's as simple as that?
No, I think it's not that different, the comedy, but it's just nobody knows you. Like, nobody knew me here.
Yeah.
So then, also, and the difference is that here is more competitive because there's more people.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I feel like it's a smaller scene over there. Like,
it's nice to start over there because it's kind of like, it's safer is the word I would say, because, for example, if you go to New York, I heard it's a very cutthroat comedy scene. It's like you gotta bring it or get out of here. Over there, it's like the scene in English is still growing. And people in Europe are like pretty chill. So like even if you're bombing, people don't really mind all that much. So it was a good place to grow over there. And then so I had the skills to come over here and then start over, which was tough. It's kind of like, yeah, when you're up there at a higher level, and then you gotta, and I won a huge competition over there, and then I had to move back here, and then you gotta start over.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks because you have a little bit of an ego, and you're like, man, what am I doing these mics? I should be like in front of like the big audiences or whatever. But no, you gotta earn it. So I had to start over at the mics, but you keep showing up, right? I already had the skill set that my sets were pretty good. And so from when I saw you to now, I think from when I saw you, I hadn't gotten booked at a single show yet. Like
really?
in Chicago.
Well, that was at least you were booked at Cozy Corner because that is where I saw you.
Yes, Cozy Corner was my first opportunity. James Najjar.
Friend of the show. We love James Najjar. He was the first person I met in the Chicago comedy scene.
Yeah, and see how all things connect, right? Because then he's the first one that booked me. Then we met each other there.
Yeah.
Or you saw me there at least, and then I came here. Then Owen comes here, and it's all connected, right?
Snowball.
But then now I'm here now, and after that, I think in May I'm booked for like 5 shows.
That's cool, man.
I'm running my own show now every month.
Do you think starting your own show helped with getting booked?
For sure.
Yeah.
I think for sure. For 2 reasons, right? There's the really good reason, which is it got me a lot of exposure. A lot of people saw me and they liked my stuff. So
and it was an official show, so it helped people.
Yeah.
Like your name's right there on the bill.
My name's on the bill.
Yeah.
I paid all the comics, so then already it's like a professional show. Like people see it as okay, we want to go here because we get paid.
Is that a thing? They don't get paid sometimes?
There's shows you don't get paid. There's a lot. I mean, you're a musician. Have you ever gotten invited somewhere like, for the exposure?
Recently.
Yeah, yeah. That's a very common thing. I used to be in a band and that was a thing. Like, oh no, yeah, you do it for the exposure. And at the beginning you're like, okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
But after a certain time, it's like, I'm good at this. I'm giving you my time.
He doesn't feel like it just doesn't feel proper, right? It feels like I'm working. I should
exactly.
Get yeah.
Like there was a girl in one of my last shows, and I don't know if you've had her on, Lauren Warwick, and she hasn't been here.
No.
She's awesome. I'll tell her to come through.
I saw her at Cozy Corner too. I did message her afterwards, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
What it is I didn't say hi to her in person because she had left before. Like usually that's what I know that's better. Like if I say hi, when you left, that's actually what I did. You were just about to leave. You opened the door. You said, "Hey guys, I'm gonna get out of here," which is great because that was you being like, "Hey guys," like you're acknowledging everybody just like I'm saying. Yeah. You're like making sure you say goodbye.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Oh shit!" I give you my business card. Hey, by the way, blah 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 blah. That's the way to do it. Because if I just message you out of the blue, I've learned though that now that I've spread my tentacles out wide enough, all I have to say is like, "Oh, we know like 10 of the same people."
Yeah.
They're like,
now you're in
right.
it. Now, yeah.
But yeah, so that is that. It's a good way. You gotta like, establish yourself.
You gotta establish
great.
yourself.
She would be great.
She's hilarious and yeah. So, but it's funny because after the show, she's the last one. When I got the payout from Eventbrite, I paid all the comics, and I asked her, "Hey, what's your Venmo?" And she left me on scene. And I like a week later, I messaged her, "Hey, like, what's your Venmo?" She's like, "No, you don't have to pay me." And I was like, "No, this was your time. You showed up there. People paid to come see it, and people thoroughly enjoyed the show. Like, so it's like you deserve it. Like you're working at this point. You've been doing it long enough. Like this is, and we're all aspiring. All of us, we might not make it, but we're all aspiring in one way or another to like have this be our living.
Well, and again, like when you get paid, that feels real. Like it feels like you're really doing the thing you want to do. And if you're not getting paid, it's like, what am I spending all my time on right now?
And if you really, because
it's an internship.
Yeah, and I kind of ignored it at the beginning. Like I had friends in comedy in Amsterdam that were like analyzing how much they spend on trains, how much they spend, just like on doing comedy, like getting there, how much I spend on drinks when I'm there. And they were, okay, I'm spending this much, so by next year I want to start getting paid. So I would ignore all that. I didn't want to see how much I was spending on trains or on beers, because then I was like, I'm gonna go down a bad mood if I'm like looking at how much I'm spending on this. I'm like, when I start getting paid, I'll start getting paid. I don't want to analyze how much I spent on it. Because
you'd know the loss, the net loss you're going through.
Yeah, but so what helped me? It helped me because a lot of people saw me. Some big comedians rolled through. The word spread fast, so they saw me. Comedians got paid. The crowd was amazing. So then immediately after the show, the next mic I went to, a lot of comedians that hadn't talked to me before were like shaking my hand and like saying hi, because the word spread, right? Like it's not a huge show, but again, what comedians want is a great crowd that they can get their jokes in front of, have a good time. But if you're also paying them on top of that, and then I sent them their video on top of that, it's a show that people are like, okay, man, this is like, and that's what I wanted from the show. I was like, if I can put some effort into it and give comedians all these perks about it, everybody's going to want to come. People are going to show up. Just care about it. Just like give some love. And I treat the show like my child now. Like I remember I told some of my friends, I told Milo and Natalie and them like, hey, we should all share this show. Like we could take turns running it. Like whoever wants to run it next month just has to take the risk.
What is that movie? 3 Men and a Baby?
Yeah. Yeah. And so like Natalie told me the next time, she was like, oh, I'd like to run it the next time. And I told her, let me run like 5 or 6 because I really want this to get on its legs.
Yeah.
I really want to give it a reputation. And once it's stable, then we can like share it.
What Marcos just said, if you ask me, is that he needs to hold on to his baby a little bit longer before he sets it free into the wild, which if you think about it is genius because you need to foster beauty inside of your creations. You need to foster ingenuity inside of your intuitive designs, right? You can't just put things in the world and then expect them to be perfect. You have to take time and make it better and better until it is undefeatable. It is professional at blowing the minds. That's right. When you become a professional mind blower because you've gotten so good at whatever thing it is that you do, and that takes time. It takes fostering creativity. And I hope you foster your creativity. I hope you find a thing that could blow people's minds, and then you go and you do it because we're all professional mind blowers and we all deserve one of these t-shirts. That's right. So we're selling them. $25. We got smalls, we got mediums, we got larges, and we can make more sizes if you so please. That is shipping included, folks. The $25 includes shipping. What a deal. That's right. It's a shirt for the whole family, a conversation starter, and a great way for you to support this show. Now, say you want to support this show, but you don't want to get a t-shirt. Well, don't you worry. We got you covered. There's this little thing called Patreon. That's right. $5 a month, the price of a coffee, the price of a beer at the bar, and you make this show happen. You help this show grow. You make it bigger, better, and more awesomer than always. We want to have amazing people in this room. I already am having amazing people in this room. I want to have even more amazinger people. Every 3 days we're dropping episodes. How does he do it? How is it possible? Who knows? But this engine runs on something, and maybe it's Patreon. Maybe it's you. Let's hope. We got original content on the Patreon. We've got songs that are only going to come out there nowhere else. What? And also, third, last but not least, my songs come out early on Patreon. You can hear them before you hear them anywhere else. And these are all perks for the amazing thing that is supporting this show. Please, you like what we're doing? Let me know. Make it better. Make it better than ever. We don't need too many of you to support it for it to grow into an amazing beast that will stomp through a city like Godzilla. June 7th, you can catch me live at Wow, You're Actually Funny. The show that we're talking about during this episode with Marcos Cirino, his show that he put together. I'll be at the 3rd installment on June 7th at 7 p.m. June 7th, 7 p.m., Surge Billiards. We're going to be in the back room having a party, and you are invited. That night at midnight, you can catch me at the Glenwood for Struggle Bus Presents Sands of the Hour X Ruse. That's right, the mashup of the century. We're talking Avengers level synergy. It's going to be crazy, and you have to be there to witness it. Going to be a whole bunch of real hip-hop. Ruse is going to perform for 30 minutes straight. Maybe he'll go for 40 million hours. Who knows? I'm going to give you a big, long performance. If you show up and you say you came for me, you say you came from this podcast, I'll have a special prize waiting for you. A special prize. And then last but not least, on June 19th, Ruse will be making his grand return to Zany's at Roast Battle. He will be roasting everybody. He will be destroying every single comedian that steps within his path. Every person that steps foot into that Zany's is in danger because Ruse is coming with the bars. We love Zany's. We love Roast Battle. Roast Battle's doing awesome things. They're bringing a bunch of comedians together to make original content just for you, and they're bringing a bunch of comedians together. They are providing a place for you to find all these people, and that's awesome. We love Roast Battle, and we can't wait to destroy everyone. That is Zany's at 9 p.m. June 19th. Now, back to our producer friend, Marcos, and his producer friends, and all the amazing producer things that are happening.
And Natalie's also running her own show now, so.
Yeah. It's happening. It happened just the other day.
This Thursday.
You know what it's called?
Love Below.
Love Below. This Thursday? This past Thursday.
This past Thursday.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Promiscuous.
is it still coming up?
Yeah.
It was a big lineup, too. It was a bunch of people on that one. Because the first couple ones, it was like 4 or 5 people. This one was like 7 or 8.
It's the same thing. It's they're giving it love. Her and Dan Cass are really taking care of it.
The Love Below.
Yeah. They're giving it a lot of love. They're taking care of it. They're being professional about it. And if you do that, it's a good show. People are going to want to join.
Yep.
Yeah. I was on it, I think like 2 months ago.
Yes.
It was very fun. It was
See,
very
I
fun.
work on Thursdays. Otherwise, I would go because I went to one of them.
That's why I'm doing my show on Saturday. I've got lucky enough that I got this room. So the way I got it is the comedian Sonny Bat. He's great. He's like huge in the scene. He saw me at Red Room Comedy Club at another show I got booked on. After the show, he was like, "Hey man, you opened. You were great." And then he told me about the room. He's like, "If you ever wanted to run a show, I rent out this room for this much money."
Oh, it's his room.
Yeah, I don't know what the relationship is because it's Surge Billiards, the bar, but for some reason he's the one that advertises that room. I gotta ask him like what it is, who gets the money, or I don't. Yeah, just how it works. But I thought about it for like 2 days, and then I was like,
he just steals the room. He doesn't even ask.
yeah, he's just like during the whole show, he's just looking that nobody's coming, make sure they don't catch him. No, but I thought about it for like 2 days, and I was like, there was this feeling in me of like, just do it.
Yeah.
You lose what, $50? You lose $50 if you don't do it, but reserve it.
Right.
A month ahead of time. And then I started organizing. I sat down in my house that Sunday and I was like writing down, these are the names that I want. I'm going to start DMing them.
So you just said yes immediately and start planning, you're saying? Like immediately you're in like show mode now?
Yeah, I was like, you just got to do these things, right? Like there's no difference between...
When it's an opportunity presenting itself.
Yeah.
Like if you don't take that opportunity... Again, what are you even doing?
Yeah, but yeah, it might not come through for a long time.
Right.
Again.
I mean, I heard somebody say once to me, like, I think it was Dimitri Venice. He just started doing comedy.
Yes.
And
he's the New York.
Yeah, yeah, from the Bronx. Yeah. So awesome guy. But I like asked him, I think it was him. I was asking like about getting booked. And he said like he wouldn't even want to take it yet just because he doesn't feel like he's ready. And I thought that was a great thing to say.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
you to know that you're not ready. So there is that side of it. Like if you get a show opportunity and you're not ready, that is a thing too. But
True respecting
if you
it, like,
are
right.
ready and you're not honest with yourself, then like, you know, what are you doing? Like if you know deep down, I can do this because you did it and it went great, you know.
Yeah.
But like if you said no to that, you would become... And you fall into that cycle of not taking those opportunities. You just have to take them.
Yeah, no, and what you're saying is true. Like, it's smart that I call it like kind of respecting the stage, right?
Right.
Like, for example, you could be at an open mic. I've seen people do this. They're like, I've never done comedy. They go to an open mic and they have nothing prepared. And they're like, oh, I want to go up. It's like, you kind of should respect it more. Like, you should be like, I'll come back next week with something written. And I think what he did there being like, if I don't feel ready, I should respect that. He's respecting the fact that it takes effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it takes like time and some skill. I was confident about it because I've hosted a bunch of times before. So I was like, I know who the funny people are. Mm-hmm. So I can just put them on stage. I think the most difficult part of the show is the hosting of it.
Yeah. Because
warming up the
you're kind of
crowd.
like the MC. You have to keep everything moving.
You are the one who has to set the stage for the comedians.
Right.
Like you have to get the crowd warm and you're the one that brings the energy. Like if you have a bad MC at a show, you might have great comics, but they're going to have a really uphill battle.
I remember once there was this guy I had on my podcast. I liked him a lot. And I was like, you should host this show for me. Like, you got the energy for it. Like, I think it'd be good. Because I was getting a good vibe off of him. And he told me he hosted things. So I was like, and it was just, he said he hosted things and he was like a coach. Those are the two things he does. Like,
Okay.
all right, cool. Like,
He can inspire confidence in people during the hosting as well.
So, yeah, exactly. He's doing the same thing both places.
Yeah.
So I had him host the show. But, like, throughout the show, he just progressively got more drunk. And
no.
I remember, like, at one point, because I'm like trying to make all this happen. I'm really the one putting everything together. And I remember he like said to me like, "Oh, bro, just chill. It's all good. It's all good." Like, and I wasn't even not chill. Like that's what I was kind of bothering me about. Is like I'm not even not, dude. This is me chill. You're just drunk.
Yeah,
that's what annoyed me.
And him saying that much is like he knows he's kind of messing up. So he's got to reassure you. He's reassuring himself.
It wasn't even about like it was about just because I never really came at him about it. I don't think I've ever even told him this. I never even told him he was drunk. Yeah. And that bothered me a little bit. But it did bother me because it's like, dude, I'm paying you to do this. Like, why are you like, because I remember we did a T-shirt thing where they were gonna throw T-shirts to the audience.
Yeah.
But he had these two girls do it, and then they threw it behind their heads, and then it just the people in the front caught all of the shirts because they didn't throw them far enough.
Yeah.
It was little things like this where I was like, I could have probably kept that going a little bit better. I wouldn't have gotten so drunk. I would have probably handled the T-shirt thing better. Like, you got to pick the right host is the moral of this story.
Yes. And it's somebody, because you say he has good energy, and that's very important, right? Not every comic can be a host because they don't have that energy.
You need energy.
Yeah, but also somebody who, again, respects it, right? He was like, I'm going to get drunk. And it's not even his show, right? Like, it's something that you brought him to.
If you would have asked me, yo, can I get a little drunk for this? I would have been like, a little drunk.
A little bit tipsy, maybe, yeah. If it gets the edge off and it makes you, like, more lively, sure.
Exactly.
But
he definitely had a few drinks, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, no.
It was just kind of a bummer. Like, it didn't even ruin everything. Everything still went great, but it was just kind of like a bummer.
But it could have been better.
Yeah.
It could have been
better. That show,
better.
it was my first show I ever ran ever. It was called the Midsummer Cash Bash.
What is it, a rap show? Or?
Yeah, we did a money giveaway, and that's like, to me, that's if you really want people to show out, like random people, you probably just give away money, and you say like stay till the end, or else you don't get money. You say those two things because they're bound to stay, and they could win money. You really do give money away at the end. 100%. I think we gave away $200, and it was like 3 winners, so like 100, 50, 50, and like I had to think like, how is this possible? How is this going to work? So when everybody walked in, like you have to sign, and everybody signs their name. Everybody who buys a ticket.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, you do a random number generator, and that's how you pick whoever it is. And if they're not there, I
They're
guess
gone.
so-and-so doesn't get the money. Let's pick our next person.
Hell yeah.
Give me a drum roll. Everybody's going, you know.
I thought you were going to be like, they're not here. We're keeping the money. Nobody's.
Sucks to be you.
No, that's cool.
But I just remember the other thing I was going to say is right before the show, I was like, we need to have food. So I got a food truck like 3 days before. It was so, I feel like.
Dude, you're on it.
Oh, dude.
You're a project manager.
Exactly. But that's what it's all about, you know.
Yeah.
That's what it's all. You got to make an event for the people. Like, I like how you put it where it's like you offer all these perks to the comics.
Yeah.
Because it makes it feel like it's something people want to be a part of. Like, they see that there's a real thing happening. Like, by throwing a food truck into the situation, it's like, oh damn, they got Mexican food here.
This guy's official. Like, this guy knows what he's doing. Like,
and I'm like barely pulling the strings. You know? I think I know what I'm doing somewhere inside me.
Yeah, but it's, again...
But it feels like to see it come into fruition is really what's so cool. And I need to start producing shows again for this very reason. You're inspiring me, sir. Because I've been thinking, like, the gears have been turning in my brain for long enough. And what I was just thinking about the other day is, like, it's not even that hard. Like, it's not even going to be that hard for me to do it. And it's like, what was I going to say? It's, it's what I said to you a minute ago, where it's like, did booking shows help you get booked? Like, did booking your own shows help you get booked? Because of course it would. And that's the other thing that has been clicking in my mind is like, I don't need to wait for people to reach out to me. I need to set up something to show people that I am a part of things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it, because there's a lot of ways to get progressively better in the scene, like at the different levels. Like, you could just keep going to mics and get noticed. That's like the way most people would go about it. You could win the competitions. The competitions are kind of like a fast track too, because if you win them, your prize is going to the comedy bar. Your prize is going to Laugh Factory.
Like, it books you.
Yeah, it books your spot. And then there's a route of, let me just do my own show. Let me just like do my own thing. Let people know, like you said, that I'm here, that I'm in the scene. And it's not that.
Well, and that's the most.
And if you're already good,
that's the one you
well,
can do. That's the one you can do right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're already good, yeah.
And I like taking things into my own hands. So when he gave me the opportunity, I was like, yeah, like, I do want to get noticed, and I do, but like, I don't want to wait around twiddling my fingers either, right? Yeah. I want to do something myself. And then he said, when he told me, he says, like, there's a lot of opportunities here. He says, when you do a show, you can put your friends on who've never gotten stage time in front of like big audiences, because that's the thing, that you can be really good at comedy, but for a long time you won't be in front of a real audience. And by real audience, I mean not just comics at an open mic, right? Yeah. Like, a lot of people are good and they just have not gotten the chance to be in front of and then when they finally do, they get these big laughs, because when you're in front of comics, you have to work so hard for the laughs. And then when you get in front of a relaxed crowd, you're killing it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I was this good. And it's like
easy
mode.
Yeah,
because iron sharpens iron, I guess. And like, you've Yeah, it's like almost easy money.
Well, easy mode.
Oh, easy
like
mode,
you
yeah.
played Guitar Hero on Expert your whole life, and now you have to play on Medium, and it's like, whoa.
I don't even have to use the orange button. That's crazy. And yeah, so he was like, you could put your friends up, put other comedians who run shows, and then people who you just like want to put on your show that are funny. He was like, use it. He says, be very strategic about who you put on it. Like, right? Don't always give it to just your friends. Don't always give it to comics who
A
put
little
on
bit of
shows.
both.
Yeah, just and play it by ear. So I'm trying to do that, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna do 6 comics. I did 7 in the original one, and I was like, let me do half guys, half girls.
Okay.
I was like, I feel like that's the perfect vibe in shows I go to. If you do all guys or all girls, I feel like you're kind of gonna get a trend. I feel like you're gonna get a vibe. Like people are gonna be, oh, it's 8 guys in a row. It kind of feels the same a little bit.
Yeah.
Or 8 girls in a row. It kind of feels the same after like the 5th person, right?
Like just in terms of pacing, even.
Yeah, and some
Right.
topics too. Like a lot of topics get repeated amongst guys. A lot of topics get repeated amongst girls. So I was like, let me do half and half, and then bring like every time I bring a killer closer, somebody who in the scene who's like good.
Which seems like the obvious move, right?
Yeah.
You need somebody to really send it home.
Yeah. So what was interesting in my first show is I got Sonny, who's the guy that gave me the room. Guy is hilarious. I asked him after I booked it, hey, how much do you charge for a closing set? And he was like, no, don't worry about it. I'll do it. Like, don't even worry about the money. But then I got there and he thought the show was at 7:30. And I started at 8. And he was like, oh, dude, I got another show. He was like, I can't close if it's at that time. And I was like, okay, I'll put you 3rd. And I put Jim as a headliner, Jim Balderson. Jim murdered it, man. Like, Jim, everybody did amazing. First of all, that's the first thing I gotta say. Everybody did amazing. Everybody brought their A game.
Wow, they're actually funny.
Yeah. Wow. They're actually funny. Exactly. Name of the show, everyone. But Jim, I was like, for some reason, I was like, Jim has to be the closer. When I had to rearrange all the pieces, I was like, he's got that personality, like to bring it all home. And man, he phenomenal. It was just, I didn't even know what were we just talking about just now? Oh, that doing a show helps you get established. Yeah, it does, inevitably. If you do it well, especially.
Right.
Because you can do a show, right? But then it kind of sucks. Oh, there wasn't any crowd, or the crowd was all drunk, or this and that. And so what was nice about the show too is that I did it, like, now that I've been here for a while, I've met a lot of people. But for example, my roommate, his best friend, he's my good friend now. He is self-employed, so he has a lot of time to himself. So he's picked up a lot of these hobbies. So he picked up DJing, and he's got a dope playlist. So one day I was just randomly with him when I booked the room, and I was like, do you want to DJ at the show? Because I feel like that's something that a lot of open mics don't do, is they don't make any ambiance with music.
Right.
Like if you start an open mic and there was silence 20 minutes before it and you just start it, everybody's like cold. But if you have music on, and I was like, dude, do you want to DJ for it? And it was nice because then he was DJing 30 minutes. People were coming in with drinks, sitting down.
I've seen like Red Room, even just playing one song before the comic walks up. Like that could be part of the bit.
Small thing.
You know? Yeah.
It's such a small thing that adds.
Well,
to
it's
it.
like you have like a big ass black dude going on stage, and it's like, baby, you light up my world like nobody else. Like to me, that's awesome.
Yeah, 100%. When I finished, he played for me because we were talking about it. When the show finished, he played "I'm Never Gonna Dance Again." Yeah, that's great. I was like, that's crazy.
Yep. At the show I was just at with Tim Perez and friends, he had his friend, I think it's Damo Do the Most. He was the DJ, and he was like doing sound effects and all that while Tim's on stage.
Yeah.
You know, little things like little touches like that can do a lot.
So
I mean,
from now on, I
Kill
wanted to
Tony
make it-
has a red band on the sound the whole time.
Exactly.
There's-
So for the next show, I was like, I didn't really think about it. I did talk to him like twice during the show, to the DJ, my buddy, and I was like, for the next show, let me just make it more interactive with him.
Yeah.
Like talk to him like the late night show hosts, like Jimmy Kimmel, who have the assistant sitting in the side, and you can make jokes with them.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me do that. And I did have a bit with him that I was like, give me a beat, DJ. And he put like this, I think it was Daft Punk, Short Circuit. And I would just start doing the robot. I'd make like a really bad joke and I'd be like, hit it, DJ. And everybody loved it. So I was like, those little things add so much to the show.
Of course, yeah.
So yeah, man, you should start producing shows again.
I have to do
I mean, let's do a comedy rap thing, man.
Let's do it.
Why
dude.
not?
You mean
Why
like a
not?
collaboration?
A collaboration.
Yo, we could scheme this thing out right now. I'm down, dude.
I'm saying you don't have to look too far. We can be the ones creating something new in the scene, you know?
That's my ultimate goal. You know, it's funny because I think like throughout my life, I've learned that you just stumble into that naturally if you do it right. You know, like if you're just following your instincts and kind of using your interests wisely, you'll kind of stumble into doing something unique and different. And if you do that right, you can involve other people and you can make it a thing. Like that's the part that you have to like seek to do, is like involve other people somehow. Like I thought about that, like how many people that I look up to that have created great things, like, yeah, I like what they made, but how much of that involved other people along the way? And it's always like they have like 10 people they knew that happened to give them opportunities. And how did they develop those relationships? It was also little things along the way, you know? You don't know which relationship it's going to be sometimes. It could be that random person that saw you randomly that you talked to a couple times.
At Cozy Corner Comedy.
Yeah, exactly. It could be anybody, you know? And so it's like when the person comes up to you and says, hey, I have Surge Billiards. This is a room. It's this price. Do you
that was really
it?
nice of him too.
Yeah.
Like I often think about that. Like, why would he come up to me? Is he just trying to, maybe he's trying to sell it as much as he can, but I don't think so. Like, it felt really nice. It felt really like, he said he liked my set. He came up to me and I was like, maybe he sees something that I could do this.
Yeah.
So I like it because I think the other tricky part of involving people is, I mean, you already went through it, is finding people who care and will respect it.
Right.
Right? Like I already know I can bring you on the show because I've seen your stuff. I saw a video of you yesterday. The Teen
Quest testimony.
I saw that and I was like, you are so good.
Thank you.
You are so good. And I was like, so that's somebody I can bring up because it shows that you clearly care about your craft. Yeah. So you're not gonna go up there and half-ass it.
Never.
So when you involve people, you got to be really careful of who's gonna half-ass it.
And sometimes you don't know. You know, like
sometimes you don't know.
I've noticed if you go to open mics a lot, it's hard to get an exact read on how that would translate into other formats. You know. Sometimes you don't know.
Sometimes you don't know.
You just meet these people in this context, and
there's some people where it's blatantly obvious when they do their set that like, but you got to be careful, right? Because it does look like, oh, they don't care, but maybe it's just that night. Maybe that night they're like tired or they're just not having a good day. But there's some people that if you see them a couple times, it seems like they don't really care much about it. I'm just gonna say whatever up here, doesn't matter. Some people you see go up there and it's like, okay, they brought new jokes. They're not afraid to bomb because they got to figure it out.
Yeah.
They're trying a new, they changed the tag here. So they've been working on it. I can tell from what you said up there that you worked on that.
Yeah.
But some people, I see them and they've been doing the same thing at open mics for months. And okay, maybe you want to tighten it up, but it's the same 4 guys looking at you right now. Like, why try something new?
Yeah.
Well, that's right. There's no exact science. And you're right. You can never really know.
Well, also, but you're at an open mic. Like, why would you even want to do the same thing for 4 months? It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
like, that is the place for experimentation.
Yeah, people get comfortable. I guess it's like, I know this will make them laugh, and
I can see you doing the same thing for shows.
Yeah, no, for shows and the big shows when they book you, it's like, show me your tight 5, your tight 10. This is what you have to do.
Yeah.
And you can play around a little bit, right? But like, you should not bring up notes when you're at big shows. You should not try a lot of new things, maybe 1 or 2 new things, maybe. But yeah, open mics is where it's at. So me, the other problem for me with this whole thing is I am a people pleaser. I want to say yes to everyone.
Me too. And I've learned I need killers. I need the best of the best because that's what I am.
Let's go. It's like, sorry, man, you got to step your game up. Like, and a lot of people have been DMing me now, and a lot of them I'm like, yes, I'll put you on, and some of them it's like, dang, dude, maybe somewhere down the line. It
hurts to say no a little bit. Yeah, it does
sometimes
hurt.
I don't open the message.
You don't even want them to know that you know.
Exactly. Oh, you DM me? Sorry, dude, I never saw it.
I've been getting a whole lot of DMs. A whole lot of DMs. Didn't see that one. I'm so sorry. I'll check next time.
They're great DMs. They're the best DMs.
DMs from the best people, very important people.
Some of them are bad. They're sending us through worse. But yeah, but the good part is the show is monthly. Maybe some of those people I can't book them for 5 months, but in 5 months, now you're a killer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I believe in God. Okay, it can happen.
It could happen for you. just get inside the ring, Rock. Just practice. Yeah, man. So like, I'm a big people pleaser, and a lot of people have been DMing me like, "Hey, can I be on your show?"
Yep.
And I tell them, "Hey, I'm gonna put you on the list, but it's probably gonna be a few months." It's a lot of guys DMing me, and the guys, I'm like, I'm only doing 3 guys and 3 girls per show. It's a lot quicker to get through the girl comics. There's like much fewer of them.
Right.
So, I know the ones I want on the show, like the killers. So probably by like 5 shows, I'll have had at least every girl that I wanted to have on the show, and then I can repeat. But for the guys, dude, it's so many guys doing it, and all that. A lot of them are DMing me, and I'm like, probably not gonna be till 2026, bro, because I can only get 3 of you at a time.
Maybe 2 shows a month. You know, maybe we get to 2 shows a month.
I'm thinking of doing a Spanish version. If it, yeah, I'm gonna start exploring the Spanish comedy scene. I think next month.
Dude, I'm sure that you'd have a similar experience where it's like the market is so much smaller. It'd be so much easier to like.
Break through it,
yeah. Just like home again, you know.
No, and I created that. Yeah, I created the page, the YWAF Productions page. So Wow, You're Actually Funny.
Yeah.
And the point is, let's do different shows. Like Wow, You're Actually Funny is just the original, right?
Right.
But let's do different shows in different venues. Like
Wow, You're Actually Funny. Español.
Wow, eres muy gracioso.
There we go. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, you were almost there. Too. Your Italian's getting better.
Thank you.
But already, I'm not gonna say the name, but already after the first show, somebody offered me a bigger venue. Somebody was like, "Hey, that was really good. I would love to put it on in this room after summer." And I was like, "That's cool." And if the doors keep open, we can do different shows. I already know people who I would like hosting my shows.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, now we have 3 shows. Okay, maybe Natalie. Natalie, you're hosting this one. Milo, you're hosting that one. Milo is doing his first showcase next Sunday.
Oh,
so things are happening, man. And every time we go to his open mic, I'm telling them, dude, we're gonna take over, like, but in the nicest way. We're not gonna step over anyone, obviously. But I'm like, well, we all have the capacity to create these shows.
Right.
Milo has the experience with the mic with Owen. They've been on the big stage, so it's like, let's just create.
Yeah.
Let's not, I mean, we do want to be on all the stuff that's already established, but the fast track to that is let's do our own thing and show them that we mean business. You know? So, no, I'm inspired, dude. I'm inspired. And there's no difference between us and the people who are on the big stage already doing it, right? These are people who went for it.
Right.
There's no difference between us and them.
Well, and to like the casual observer, to someone who's just perusing, they see nothing but, oh, this person's on a show. Like it's the psychology of that. It's the fact that even comics, but comics at least know the route to getting booked and how that might work.
Yeah.
The regular person, which is most people, the people that don't do those things, they just lead everyday lives. They're not making art or anything like that. They just see a person who's doing things. Like I remember I was talking to my friend who works construction. He's like been my best friend forever. Shout out Andrew King. He's going to be episode 1000 of the podcast. He's agreed to
1,000? Let's go.
He was supposed to be 100. And
so
then
probably next month?
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah. But I remember I was talking to him, and I've had like a bunch of clips from me at open mics rapping on stage. And he interpreted those videos as me being booked on shows. He's like, oh, I thought you were doing it. Because I told him I'm having my first show, dude, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, I thought you were getting booked on a bunch of shows already. I saw those videos. And it made me realize, like, oh, if you're just seeing just that clip, you would think this is a guy on a stage at a venue.
Jedi mind trick.
Yeah. You just put yourself in the position to do that thing rather than waiting for someone to do it for you. That's really all it is.
Yeah, I think I've had friends ask me.
Red Room's nice because they put that right behind you, so a lot of people would see that photo.
That looks official. It's a nice club.
Yeah.
And it's not a huge room, but it's very well laid out, very cozy. It's a comedy club.
I was surprised to find out it's not that old. It's only been there for a few years as far as I know. Like it was established not that long ago.
Wow.
Because it feels like the type of place that's been there for a while.
It feels like a staple.
Yeah. And it's just becoming that, I suppose. Yeah. Red Room's nice. And it's intimate. I like intimate rooms like that. I think that comedy it can really benefit from that more than pretty much anything else. I think comedy, having a nice tight room, there's just something way different.
I was talking to my friends about
That's why stadium comedy is weird almost.
Yes, dude. I was talking to my friends about this. Like, I think there's an optimal. I mean, for everything, there's an optimal number, right? But I think comedy, pretty quickly, there's a number, maybe 300, 400 people.
That's the magic number.
That's the maximum that you could still have a lot of fun, and you can still feel like you're interacting with people.
Mm-hmm. I want to see like the specs for Joe Rogan's comedy club, because I saw him talk about it. He said like Dave Chappelle helped him design it. He told him, he gave him a bunch of advice on like, oh, you need to lower the ceiling this much and it needs to be this, like to make the perfect comedy room. Like there was a science to the way that room was invented.
Damn, I would like to hear like what it is. I do have kind of an idea, because
well, I know it's like low ceiling for sure. That's one of the rules.
Yeah, and then you could the bounce, the laughs don't. Yeah, there's rooms where like the laughs, you lose the laughs.
I mean, stadium again,
it's
going right out the top.
And people might be losing their minds laughing, but you won't feel it.
Yeah,
because all the sound's just leaving.
Comedy outdoors in general, it's just kind of
it's tough.
It's tough, yeah.
Even in small rooms, like if I can avoid. Well, I like a stage, but if I can avoid a stage, that's even nicer.
Yeah.
Or if it's a really small stage, like the one at Surge Billiards is probably like this big, and that's nice because like. You're kind of with the people. The second you put me up on a high stage, you kind of lose a little bit of that. Now I'm like kind of, you're down there, I'm up here. So there's something nice in comedy where like if you're closer, because we want to do crowd work, we want to talk to you.
Yeah.
So, and the more comedy feels like we're just people here shooting the shit, for lack of better words, like it's just friends laughing with each other. That's the feeling you want in a comedy show. It's like, I know this is a performer, I know he's doing well, but it feels to me like I'm out with my friends, just like laughing and talking and like.
I think that's the best comics, is the ones that manage to do it naturally in such a way.
Yeah.
Like people who it feels like that's how they would be if you were to hang with them. Like that's just them being themselves. You know?
Exactly. And it feels like this is just another part of their day. They're gonna continue being like this after they're done on stage. Like
I mean, like the best comics of all time. I mean, like the greats of comedy all did that, and that's what people respect the most about them. It just, to me, that seems like the running thread always. Is it's always like this authentic thing they manage to achieve. Even if they're kind of playing into their personality and being the character, it ends up them being themselves in this weird way, you know?
Dude, I love how we deconstruct comedy. Like, whenever you and I get together, it's like, this is what comedy is. This is what it should. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I don't know if you've seen now Don't Tell Comedy is like the big group that's
they just move around to different spots, right?
They don't tell you where the venue is till like day before.
And they get big names.
They get big, everybody. I want to be on everybody. I mean, I'm not huge yet. I will be. But I mean, it's an honor to be on that. But if you see their shows on YouTube, if you look it up, the venues are never huge. It's always like these nice, there's one here in Humboldt Park called Humboldt Jungle. That's like a basement or something. And dude, and those spaces just nice because you feel like it's cozy. It's like cozy corner, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the spaces, if you see Don't Tell Comedy, millions of views, but the spaces are small. It's probably like Surge Billiards, like 40, 50 people in a room or something. They probably have bigger rooms, right? But usually it's that. Like, I think that's the loveliest. Like, obviously, if I get
makes it
300, 400 people in a room, I get paid more.
Yeah.
But it's nice having the 40, 50. Like, the venue they offered me, the one I'm doing now is 40, 45. The venue they offered me is 70 people, I think. I think that's also perfect. It's a great number. But yeah, I think pretty quickly you can devolve into like, oh, now it's 1,000. But now it feels like more of a, it is a performance. Yeah. But it feels like more of a performance than it feels like this nice intimate thing.
Yeah, because it's the intimacy of it with comedy is a whole different thing.
Yeah, because comedy is very interactive. Like when you go to music, right, you have this thing set up that you prepared, right? I was in a band. People are singing along with you and stuff, but you're not talking back and forth to them unless it's in between songs.
Yeah, but it's so much different. I think the whole dynamic with music is so different. Like I was going to say that at first, that like maybe music would be the same, but then I said that I think it would just be comedy, because I think music, you can have a giant crowd and that intimacy, it's just a different thing that's happening.
Yeah, because they're gonna sing your songs, hopefully,
or they're gonna feel your songs. Where it's like with comedy, again, it's like It's an exchange that's happening.
Yes.
A conversation, as you put it. That's so much different than like sending out this wave for people to feel.
Yeah, it'd be really awkward if somebody was singing along to my set at stand-up comedy, like they know it and they're just singing along with me.
That would be scary.
I'd be like,
You'd have to. That's like the wake
I'd be
up
like, I'm
call.
gonna die tonight. This person's gonna kill me.
That's your sleep paralysis demon at your show.
I just want to go home, man.
That would be so fucking terrifying, dude. Like a sleeper agent or something. I'd be so scared. Like, what is going on?
He says your punchline before you just ruins your whole show. This is my arch nemesis.
You ever see Twin Peaks where it's like it is happening again, that whole scene?
I've not.
Oh, that's what it reminds me of. It's like somebody's on a stage and it's just all David Lynchian, and then the main character who's investigating this whole mystery is watching it, and he like enters this kind of alternate reality, sort of, and then this guy who looks scary says it is happening again, something like that, and it's like. It's just that would be a very David Lynchian moment if you were at a show, and like I just imagine like all the lights going out and it's just you and that guy, and like some scary music starts playing. I would think I'm dying if that happened to me.
Oh yeah.
With comedy, because like that would be scary. Even if you did the same set all the time, the fact that they know every word like a soundtrack is bad.
Yeah, that'd be awful. Yeah, because it is true. There's some comics that I've seen a bunch, and like some of my friends and I will go to these shows and we see these comics we've seen a bunch, and sometimes we'll tell each other the punchline, but like quietly we'll be like, "This is the punchline." And,
Yeah.
And then it's even funnier when you know like their mannerisms and what they're gonna say. Like that's not really part of the joke. It's like a mannerism or a sound they make. When you know those, and then you say it to your buddy next to you, you're like, "Yeah, I know what he's gonna say." Like exactly, I was gonna go.
He's about to go sit down and do the stool thing.
Yeah,
Trust me.
He's gonna say he's never said the story before. That happened to me once, dude. There's one of my favorite stories I've heard in the scene here. The first time I heard it, the guy was like, "Oh, I've never told this before," and I was like, and then he said the story, and I was like, "This guy's phenomenal. This guy's a goat." And then I saw him do it another show. He was like, "I've never told this story before." And I was like, you got me.
Yeah.
You got me.
You almost have to respect it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that he got me. He's lying, but that was a good move.
He's a mystic. He's
Yeah.
a mystic. I was like, that's hot. That's hot. I want you to take me home.
I feel like there are like little magic tricks like that. I mean, what is the other one in comedy? It never happened a while ago. It happened yesterday. That's the other one.
Yeah.
It always happened yesterday.
Guys, I was getting here today and somebody on the train said this to me. Like, there's no way somebody said that and this is such a crisp joke.
But that's always it. It's always so recent. Whatever happened was very recent, and I don't even, again, it's like, must be like a psychology thing. Like if I tell you this happened 3 weeks ago, that doesn't sound the same as, dude, on my way here. It just sounds...
it adds some magic to it. Dang, like, and he already has a story about it.
That just happened to him 6 hours ago, and that's the guy right there.
Yeah, what an eventful life he lives that this just happened to him.
That's what
He's on his way to a show and like, wow, this happened to him? He's got to talk about
Stuff happens to this guy.
it. He's kind of like a main character out here, just side questing everywhere. And
He's the main character.
sir, can I talk to you after the show? I'd like to hear about your life.
Yeah, what else happened to you today?
Yeah, and stories that happen to your friends, a lot of them you kind of got to sell them like it happened to you.
That's another one. Yeah, it always happened to you. It didn't happen to your friend. It happened to you.
Me, man. My friend, no, I broke up with this girl. But wasn't he just dating another one? He's breaking up with another one now, right now. I was like, no, it's one's me, one's my friend, one's my brother.
This is actually my grandma's story. I got it from her diary.
She fought me, but she's not very strong. No, dude, I'm excited. Yeah, I love that first question you made about it's snowballing. I feel like that's been the theme of the conversation is, yeah, man, it's snowballing. And I always knew it was going to be exponential. I always knew like I'm going to have to, for lack of better words, eat shit for a little bit.
Yeah.
At the open mics and nobody's going to be listening to me. But then when it hits. It's exponential.
Exponential is a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Because that's, to me, that's the hard thing to understand. Like, so as I do this show, I have more and more people at least reach out to me and say, hey, I'd like to be a part of your show. And I'm like at a small, tiny little fraction of what that is. Because like I already know if I do the same thing I've been doing and keep snowballing that, within 6 months, it'll be 5 to 10 times as many people doing that. And it's like what we were talking about earlier about like being a yes man, being a nice guy. You want to give people opportunities, but it's literally impossible at a certain point. I just have to start making like I have to start placing values on things and saying like, okay, so what makes the most sense to do right now? And that's the hard part. Like, to me, it's the exponential curve becomes the difficulty curve, because like once you do something for long enough, you thought you wanted it to be like this, but now you have all of these choices you have to make. And now it was like way easier 6 months ago. Like, now I have to do all these things and constantly, like, I'm maintaining something now. So
now I'm not searching for it. Now I have to choose. Now I have to say what I want. What do I want this
and you want
to
to keep
be?
going up.
Yeah. You want to be. Milo and I were talking about like doing a collab on this show. We were like, he said, "Oh, do it again, and maybe we could come back and like we both are on the podcast. Like it's the both of us." And I was like, I mean, if Wyatt's up for it, dude, like that'd be cool. Like, again, it's whatever you want your show to be, but like, what if at some point you have multiple people?
So really what it is like I could do it. The only thing is it's like the setup we have here. Like I could back the camera up a little more. I need another one of these bad boys if I really want it to work. I got because I have two of these Shure SM7Bs, these beautiful microphones. I love these. This is my favorite mic of all time.
Sponsor him.
For real. Sponsor me, guys. But yeah, 3 people. The other thing is like at least you guys have both already been on, so I think that would go great. One thing I believe spiritually is something happens when it's like you and one other person.
Okay.
If
I respect
say
that.
like somebody even shows up with people with them, that kind of introduces a dynamic sometimes. But also like,
have you had somebody show up with an entourage?
Oh yeah.
Like how many is the max that you have seen?
Thank God, no more than like 2. No more than 2, because I can't even imagine if like
if somebody
people.
showed like rapper style with like 8 guys and they're all smoking and like.
I'd be like, oh, guys, my dog's right here. We got to calm down a little bit. My dog's right there.
He's bringing out a tray of glasses of water. Just shaking.
It's just...
They could jump me.
I mean, like, honestly, I'd probably handle that fine. It's just not what I would want. Like, that's not what you want. Because something happens when you have one person and another person. It's just the best, most ideal thing. And... I can understand why you'd bring like a friend if you've never met somebody before, so I can't even be mad at it. But when people want to have 2 people on at the same time, what I've noticed is it'll be like you guys having your thing going on. It's like, especially if they know each other well, they kind of are doing their thing, and I kind of just like, if I'm gonna do my job right, I kind of just have to hang back and let you do your thing.
Yeah.
But now it's not what I was doing anymore. Now
Exactly.
it's like
Now
I'm
it's-
just tagging along.
Yeah. And it's not what I want this show to be.
Exactly. But since you guys have both already been on, I know exactly what you're doing. It'd make perfect sense. Another duo I want to have on is shout out Sean Shaw and Andres Merlos. Those are the 2 guys, the main characters in the cult classic, amazing film Coconut Cruise.
Coconut Cruise?
Mm-hmm,
Where can I watch this?
They've been having screenings of it, but I don't know. You'd have to...
Okay.
You know what? Message them and ask them and tell them Ruse sent you, all right?
Ruse sent me. All right. I get special Ruse discount.
I need to see Coconut Cruise. I was told this is the best movie of all time.
Man, I will hurt someone if you don't let me watch that movie.
Say that to them. They'll like
I'll say that. Say that to them. Somebody's in danger right now if you don't let me watch that movie. No, but I completely respect that. Even if you don't want me and Milo, I completely respect that because it's what you're saying. It's what you want. This is your baby.
But you guys would be a good duo. Milo and Owen, I feel like, would be a good duo.
They
too.
host the show together at Mickey's Park.
It was funny. At the very end, like, I was saying something to Milo, and he said, like, whoa, you just scared me. Like, you just looked like Owen to me for a second. I morphed into Owen.
Did he try to kiss you?
See, that part we cut out. I wasn't going to mention it. We cut that part out.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool, man, to do those collabs.
When you think about this rap comedy show, what are you thinking? Like, if you were to try to conceptualize...
Man, the default would be, like, I think the way Chappelle, and I don't know if Def Comedy Jam did it, but I know the way Chappelle did it is just you do the set, afterwards it's rap, and it's you bring out it's like bringing out it's a musical act, right?
You mean like comedy first, music last type thing? Okay.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't intertwine it. I think that'd be not yet, right? I would have to see how that works because I think it's a weird dynamic.
Right.
Like unless it's like, I couldn't even try to think about how I would do that. It would be like SNL is like Saturday Night Live. We did all the sketches, now you have a musical act at the end.
Yeah, because like the only way you could properly do it is if you had a bunch of musicians that don't... Like, the problem with music most of the time, with like blending it with something like comedy, is it brings you too much into this other like headspace almost. Like, you'd need musicians.
You'd have to keep switching.
Yeah, like the reason I think maybe like my type of hip hop would work is because it's like I'm making you think about what I'm saying actively the whole time. Like the whole thing is so lyrical that if you're paying attention, you're rewarded, which is the same type of thing. Like if you had a bunch of people like that, maybe you could do it, like a bunch of me's.
Yeah,
I don't know how you would do it otherwise, because you kind of need people who can slide right into that. Otherwise, you have to separate them. Because I think what would happen is like a musician's going to come up there and they're doing something moody, and now the whole audience is in some type of mood, and then this comic has to come up and snap them out of it.
Yeah.
And that makes their job way harder.
And that phrase, snap them out of it, is perfect because like I think all the arts are sort of a trance that you're putting people in, right?
Yeah.
You're putting them in a trance. And like, if you're breaking that trance every time, okay, now I'm in the comedy headspace. Oh, I'm laughing. Switch. Now you got to switch to this new mindset of this is sad music. If somebody comes in a mood, right?
Right.
Then I'm switching back to happy. And you're kind of breaking that trip that they're on.
There's no continuity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're kind of breaking that trip, and then even within comedy, even within a set, like in stand-up comedy, sometimes if you're like a one-liner comedian and you're going from topic to topic to topic to topic, that can be tough for some people, because it's like, okay, now I gotta restart my brain. You're on another topic. You're on another topic. That's why when you do longer sets, you should get into stories, because now the person can like, I don't know.
You were talking about that the last time you were on here, about how you like started to string your stuff together into one long story.
Yeah, exactly. To keep people like, now there's a string that people don't have to be switching their, I don't know what the best word would be, like mindset or where their mind is at.
There's no break. You know, like with music, like what I try to do, if I know how long my set is, like for a show, I always do this. So you tell me that I have a 10-minute set. So now I'm making an assembly of songs that gets as close to 10 minutes as possible, where I know each transition. Like I know how this song's going to go into this song, into this song, into this song, because that's important. You know, like one thing most rappers will do is they'll it feels kind of clunky, because they'll go up there and they'll like say, hey, play track 3, and then they play track 3, and they're like, you know, they go through track 3 and they're like, oh, yeah, play track 8, you know, but or they just have a lineup of songs, but they don't put any thought into how they're going to move into one another. Like, how is that going to feel? Because that matters. Like, how do I go from here to here to here to here organically, so they're with me the whole time? Because I'm always thinking about that. Like, this 10-minute set has to make sense. Oh, this song's the closer, for sure.
That's why we got to work together, man. See, you're thinking about these things. And the way I would do it, once we do it, is we would start it immediately. Like,
Right.
We would have to talk to whoever's running sound. But the second I'm like, oh, guys, thank you for coming. We have a musical act for you guys. And it's got to start bang, and with high energy. Immediately, you just start.
Right.
You know, like, because then it. And now people,
you know, I had this idea, because there was like 2 comics and then me. I almost wanted to ask Andres Merlos like beforehand, like, yo, when you're like doing your bit, like at the very end, I'll like pretend to heckle you. Like I'll say something. I'll be like, oh, fuck this guy. And he starts talking back to me, and he's like, come up here and say something, you know?
Bro.
And then the beat starts playing, and I come up and I just like do some fake punches, and he like gets hurt and, you know, falls down. And then I start my set. Like,
Yeah, but did you
wanted to add, that was the idea.
You didn't do it?
I didn't.
Dude, I love to do that at my show, actually, and just be like, spoiler alert for everybody, just be like, guys, thank you for coming to the show. And he's like, you suck, dude. Like somebody from the aisle, I'm like, what? And then but I probably say it as you're coming up with the beat. Is that our musical act of the night? And then you start it off and.
See, I feel like you got to have them play along for a little bit, though. You got to give the audience a good like 20 seconds of suspense.
Oh no, I would, but
because as soon as the music starts playing, I think they might already know. Like,
okay.
You know, they might catch on to what's happening. That's why, like, you got to like string it out for a second. Be like, you know, they're saying to you, "I'm sorry," like what? And I'm like, "This sucks, dude. This whole show sucked. I mean, you got 3 ladies, 3 guys. I just think it could be all guys. That's all." Maybe don't say that. Trying to think like the worst thing I could say.
I want no girls on the show. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like their opinion. I don't respect it.
That's my heckle.
I'm like, whoa.
Dude.
But then what would be hilarious is if somebody actually feels that way. I say, yeah, I don't like it either. I'm like, no. And you're like, no, dude, no, that's not.
It becomes a sting operation. We got him. But anyway, like the hard part to me is like, how do I start going on stage? Because like you don't want anybody to think I'm gonna hurt you. So you'd have to invite me on stage. You'd have to be like, I'm sorry, like, do you want to come up here and tell some jokes? Do you want to say something on stage? Like you set me up.
Or it could be like you say that, oh, I didn't like it because of this. Also, there's like no music in this. I'm like, well, you want to come up and sing something? And then it's like, yeah, I'll sing something. And then we started off.
Now that's good.
Yeah.
Because if they already know there's a music act, that would at least give them a good like 15, 20 seconds. Like, what's going on here? And then that line is the trigger line. They're like, oh, and then the beat starts playing, you know, and they're like, oh, we just got bamboozled.
Yeah.
The trick is to bamboozle them.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to figure out how, because like there might be like some knights in shining armor that might try to like save me.
That's why.
So we got to figure that out. We got to figure out that nobody's going to get in the, yo, man, what's your problem? Like,
exactly.
We don't want that. So we got to make it funny off the bat.
Can't say the woman thing. That would turn them against me real quick.
No, but we would have to say something absurd.
Yeah, like
because if you make it too serious, it's like if people feel like, oh, this guy's an ass. Like he's actually mad. Some guy could be like, hey, man, what the hell?
well, definitely got to say this wasn't even funny. Like, definitely got to say something like that. Like,
Hey,
this wasn't even actually funny. I came because it said these people are actually funny.
I paid $50. I'm like, tickets are $15. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I talked to Milo. I didn't talk to you.
Dude, let's do something. Let's do something. I love it. And then just start off immediately.
Yeah. And what do you think? Like a couple music acts, though? You think like a few?
I would just put you. At least in the first one, it'd just be you.
We're talking about your show, right?
Yeah.
With that?
If we do like a bigger thing, like a collaboration of music and rap where it's like almost a festival type deal, like it's like 6 hours or something, then we could think about that. That's like down the road somewhere, right?
It's not a bad idea, though.
Yeah, like a summer thing. Like it's a comedy rap bash or a mashup or something. Then we could do that. But for mine, for now, it would just be one at the end. 10 minutes.
No, that's the move. I think that's always the move. If you're going to do something like what you're doing, because then it just has something to like, pop the lid off that bottle at the very end. You know, and get all that pressure and just go, psh, and then, okay, we can all.
And it gets people in the mood if they're going to hang out.
Right.
Now they're in the mood like, all right, I got music. I want to move. Like, let's go to the next place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a good outro type deal, you know? Like it feels like the credits are rolling.
10, 15 minutes. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That's how they did it in Chappelle's show. It was like as the credits were rolling, there was a rap act.
Oh, yeah.
And the people who were there, they do get to enjoy a longer act, right? But the people on TV, you just see a little bit of it. I don't think you got to see the whole thing, right? But it's like an outro type thing.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm envisioning it right now. Then we could do another show where both things are the main thing.
Yeah. As a separate thing. The comedy rap bash. I'm trying to think of a cool like way to do it. If it was like a festival, if it was like hours and hours, then there's a lot of opportunities there because you can kind of mix that up a little bit. Mm-hmm. If it's like a typical 2 hours, that's different. I would say like comics for like the first 60-70%, and then the musicians for like the last 30%, something like that, where it's like mostly comedy, and then because still I don't think you want half and half. I feel like if you're at a festival, maybe.
I wouldn't do it half and half.
Yeah, I feel like comedy for some reason would probably be the better way to like have it be like an hour, 20 minutes in, and like right when everybody's getting a little bit of fatigue, and then give them the music, something like that. Because I think like the theory for comedy shows is like 2 hours max, right? Like you don't really want to go too far.
Yeah, you don't
want to
go further than that.
You start to wear people out. Yeah.
I do an hour and a half, I think is optimal. Somebody started doing a show now. I got to ask him how it went. His name is Mike Bergeron. I don't know if you've had him on, but I'll send him your way also. He's a really nice guy. He just started a show, and his aim was to do an hour. His show was an hour.
Okay.
It's on a Thursday. It was this Thursday, but it was pretty late too. That's the thing. It started at like 9 on a school night. So yeah, he did it like an hour.
All those school kids at comedy shows.
No, it was late because a lot of his friends, I don't know if they're bartenders or what it is or waiters, but they come out late from their work, so he wanted to make it an hour that they could show up for it. Yeah. A lot of people creating, man. A lot of people creating.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, to me, it's just cool to see things. It's cool to see people making things because, like, I don't know if I told you this quote, but it's a quote from my high school days in my rap songs. And one of my first songs ever, I think it was called Superheroes. And It's a match to a spark to inspire. I want to see you start a fire, is the quote. And to me, that's like my entire philosophy with everything, is I think like there's something about creation. There's something about seeing someone do something purely from their mind to whatever it is that they manifested into reality. It could be anything.
Yeah.
But seeing people do that consistently is like the most inspirational thing you can see as a human being. It's the one thing that reminds you that we're like, it, to me, it's because there's an inner truth within that. You see someone else doing it, and it's an acknowledgement that we can all create something from nothing. We can all take ideas and manifest them. Like that's, and if you're a comedian who starts getting booked, if you're a rapper who like makes a ton of songs, it could be anything. But the fact that people see you in that process of creation is something that I think lights a fire in everybody else. Like to me, there's something so that's. Like if you were to ask me, like, what's your ultimate goal? It's to do that as much as possible. Like, it's not even about success. It's about initiating that. Because to me, that's the most important thing you can do in life is make people feel something and make them want to do something. They see you and it means something to them. I think like you have that effect on comics when you book them, because they feel like they're seen and then they acknowledge that and then they start this process.
My work is paying off. People want to see my work is affecting somebody and they want to see it more.
Yeah. And it's a chain reaction because then they feel that way and they're more likely to do things like that. Like, oh, this guy can do that. He's paying everybody. Maybe I should start a show and pay everybody. It's like those little things that you're placing in the universe by doing it too.
Yeah, I had a friend the other day that he told me to take a step back and look at that because I was like, it was when I first started. I was like 7 months in or 6 months in.
Yeah.
And I was a bit bummed. I was like, yeah, it's a bit tough. And then he was like, he hadn't talked to me in like 3 months. And he was like, but Marcos, 3 months ago, you hadn't done this, you hadn't done this, you hadn't done that. So like, look at all the results that you've gotten. So he was like, remember to notice that. And I think that's a really beautiful thing is when you see your friends. Well, a really beautiful thing is when somebody says they're going to do something and they do it. And you're like, oh crap, yeah, 3 months ago you had told me you were gonna do this, and now you're running a show, and now you participated in the show that you wanted to participate in.
People don't do things. Because people really don't do things.
A lot of people just say it and then don't do it.
That's the thing about like picking the right people, like finding killers, finding people who are that good. Is like people will say all kinds of things, but it's only like the actions that really count. I've learned that a million times over. Like I have friends who they're talented, but I know for a fact like they won't initiate the actions that will get their talent to be noticed because I've just seen time and time again they don't do it. No matter how much I believe in them, it won't happen. And it's actually frustrating because there's talented people who you just know like they're not gonna get up, they're not gonna if it's a little bit hard to get out of the house to do the thing, I'm just gonna stay in, I'm not gonna do it. There's a really nice commercial that Nike put out this year in memory of Kobe, because apparently in China it's the year of the wooden snake, and Kobe's the Mamba, right, the black Mamba, and people in China love Kobe. And the commercial is a bunch of kids struggling in their sport. Like it's a kid or this teenager going to the basketball court. He's missing shots. He's like frustrated, but he keeps going at it. And then they're struggling, but in the kind of the turning point, like for example, there's a girl at one point that's wrestling and she's got the other girl and she says Kobe and then she flips the girl. And the idea of the commercial, the slogan is have a difficult year. It was like go out there. And because that was Kobe, right? He was like always training. It was like his regime is impossible. Get up at 4 a.m., practice 3 times. It's difficult. Yeah. But that's how he got to where he was. So the slogan is have a difficult year in the sense of do difficult things. Get it. So for me, it's like go out there when you're tired, do more. Obviously, don't burn yourself out. Nobody burn yourself out. But push yourself to your limit.
Oh, I don't want to go to this mic. Why don't you want to go? You're a little bit tired? Take a 20-minute nap.
Yeah.
And get up and go. Get out of bed, like
because it's all about the cycles you're creating, like the patterns you create by making those choices. Like if you continually don't go to the mic, that's just who you are. It doesn't matter who you think you are. That's who you are. Yeah,
and the more times you make that decision, right, the more likely you're gonna be to do it again.
Yeah, because I think you just fall into the pattern of it, it becomes what you do. Like, it's like when I hear people say like they go to 6 mics a week, it kind of confuses me. Or people say like 10 plus, like that's what? You go to 2 every like 5 days? What? But it makes sense if you are that person because you're always doing it. So it's like if you don't do it, you almost feel like you've committed a crime. Like,
If I go a week without doing comedy, that's a long time.
yeah.
I'm like, I need to get back out there. Like,
Yeah.
not only because I feel like I have to get better, but because it's so fun too. Now it's this thing I enjoy doing so much that I'm like, oh man, I didn't do it this week. Like, but it's also that, Marcos, you're not getting your reps in if
Right.
you don't go for a full week. So like, you're gonna fall behind on what you're trying to achieve. I have some grace with myself, obviously, but it's like, keep doing the thing. Because also, it's these things that we know, that we hear a lot, but until you do them, then they really get ingrained in you. Consistency is king.
Yeah.
Consistency is
100%.
king. Like, I am not nearly
With everything.
Yeah, I'm not nearly close to being the funniest in the comedy scene. Not even close. I'm good at it, but consistency is what's gotten me the shows. Because early when I arrived, I did well in front of a lot of big comedians. They didn't book me. Then like when they saw me a lot, then it's like, let's get this guy in. Like he's serious about it. And you're gonna get, so first of all, people are gonna notice you're making, that's not the first. The first thing is you're gonna get better at it. And then people are gonna notice you're serious about it. So consistency is king. And the beautiful part about, I want to say earlier about running the show is that now I see like people always ask me, what do you want to do with this whole comedy thing? I can't really answer it. I'm just taking it one step at a time. What's the next step? Oh, running a show. We're doing this. When I ran the show, but in the back of our heads, the goal is always like, I want to live off of this. I want this to be my living, is doing comedy. But I kind of don't think about that too much because I don't want to get too hopeful and then it doesn't happen, you know?
Well, it's like that evaluating how much you're spending on it thing. Really.
Yeah.
We don't even need to look at that right now.
Exactly.
Let's
So
give it some
let's
time.
look at the next step. What's the next step? Okay, I want to learn how to host. I did that. I want to get booked. That happened. I want to run a show. But when I ran the show and I did it, now I finally see like, oh, this could be my living at some point. Like I could start running more shows, be known in the scene, be a staple in the Chicago scene. And then this is just what I do. I can now, at some point, I could spend my time just doing comedy, music, working out, so I can just look good when I'm on stage.
Yeah.
But when I ran the show, like that whole week after, I was like, I see the door now. I see the path. I see the path. I see like, I can do this.
The pearly gates opened.
Yeah. But you gotta keep consistent. And I gotta be ready for that one show that maybe almost no one shows up. I gotta be ready for that. Hopefully it doesn't happen.
And you have to be ready for that show where you feel you're pushing yourself to that limit. Like, oh, I don't even know if I'm ready for this. Like it's some big opportunity that's bigger than you could ever imagine. And now you have to step up to the plate and it's in 14 days. That's when you have to do, like, it could be anything, you know, it could be the ultimate disappointment. It could be the ultimate opportunity, but it's like going down that path is a scary path, you know?
Like freestyle rapping at Zany's.
Yeah. Yeah. When this episode airs, it will have already happened. So that's going to be.
That is such a meta thing to say.
Right?
It will already have happened.
That's why it's kind of confusing. It's like, you know, I know if I talk about it right now, it's already occurred. It was probably legendary. It was probably the greatest thing of all time. I really think like because
I'll say I had a great time. I think I was at Milo's show, but
he was there in spirit.
Yeah.
But it's like what I'm thinking is like it's the same thing I did when I was at Power Hour. I was telling you about earlier. It's just all about acknowledging as much as possible that has been said. So. The challenge is how am I going to do that with a roast battle? Because at Power Hour it was kind of easy. Like at Power Hour, it's like they're just saying the most ridiculous things. All I have to write down is the most ridiculous things they say.
Yeah.
Whereas like roast battle, it's not as many comics. There's not as much content that's going to occur within that amount of time. It's probably going to be a good like hour and 20 minutes, something like that of comedy. And it's only like 5 or 6 jokes between the comics. And then the panel is going to probably say like a joke or whatever. So through all of their insults, I just have to pick a certain, like probably, hopefully, if I'm mapping this out properly, if there's like 6 battles, you'd want to get at least like 3 insults per battle. Because that's 3 times 6. That's going to be a good 18 insults. So then I've got 18 things I have to say in my freestyle. Also, they said to me,
it's gonna be
like,
the ultimate diss track.
Exactly. I just have to hate on everybody.
Yeah, that's a
kind of
professional
fun.
hater.
Yeah.
Following Kendrick's steps.
I just have to step on stage and be like, first of all, I'ma hate y'all the most. Yo, you thought this was real? That's what you call a roast? This is what I've learned. I don't even really have to try, dude.
Phenomenal.
And if I have all the words right there in front of me, it's basically like laid out. I just have to set up every rhyme. That's all I have to do. You know, it's literally.
They're gonna be like, "That was amazing, but all our feelings are hurt." Like that was, you went pretty deep on that one.
Chris, the guy who runs it, Chris Creco, he messaged me and said he wants me to like come up with my own roasts, and that's to me actually gonna be, if I'm gonna do that, that's the hardest part. Now I have to come up with my own.
His real name's
insult.
Clarence. Clarence's parents have a real nice marriage.
So I think it's like a match made in heaven. I think it's gonna go fantastic, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
It's gonna go fantastic.
Roast
man.
Battle has real like people coming through on there, like people big in the comedy world come through on Roast Battle. So to me, it's like I'm seeing those same doors right there. You know, I know for a fact if I'm on that stage and it's fucking like Jeff Ross there that night. Well, boom. A week later, you could have Jeff Ross on the podcast because now he knows who I am.
Yeah.
If I just message him, he doesn't know who I am. So it's like those types of opportunities are in a place like that. And yeah, dude, to me, it's just following. I know that could go any which way, but that's the opportunity. Is the fact that
it's the next step.
Well, and the fact that you would be nervous about it means something. You know, like
it means
you
you
want
respect
things
it.
like that.
Yeah,
you want things where it's like, damn, like there's 1,000 people here tonight, like that type of show. There's like, even though it's not intimate anymore, it's 1,000 people that showed up and they're gonna see you. That means so much more than all of those nights you were talking to 20 people. Like it's now there's a certain weight on your shoulders, and that is, even though it's daunting, like if you don't chase those things, it's like what's happening here, you know? And and like what you said earlier about consistency. I think consistency is more important than talent in a sense.
Yeah. It's
why untalented people do big things, because sure, maybe they're not as good as you, but they are consistent.
Exactly. They're out there.
Why
they're the
there.
ones doing it. They're the ones taking opportunities. And I guess getting their hands dirty. Oh, you don't want to go to that mic. It's kind of small, but that person's going and they got a rep in.
Right.
You know? So, and then you seem like the kind of person who you put in effort even when it's 10, 20 people, right?
Oh,
so now when you do it for this 1,000, it's going to mean more to you, but you're giving it that same level of love. Right?
Because that's what you should always be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, always. Like, you shouldn't value a show based on the what the show looks like. It's like the Zen philosophy. You're only in this moment right here, right now. You'll never have this moment again. Don't think like past, future. Stop thinking all that. Just be right here, right now.
Right here.
Because that's what communicates. People see that you're doing that. Like when, to me, I had Aaron Chase on this podcast recently, and he asked me about if I'm performing a song, because it's different than comedy. Like, how do I keep that original every single time? And my answer was, it's about inserting your soul into the performance, which that's what it is. It's sliding your everything into it and believing yourself when you're doing it, like committing to it. Because, you know, like the thing is, it could be everybody there is somebody that's seen you before, but there's one person who hasn't seen you before, and that's brand new to them.
Yeah.
Even though those other people heard it, it's brand new to this one person.
This person came out to see you. It's probably new to them. Yeah, like, so that's why you got to give it
100%.
Yeah.
And people know when you did that. Like, that's the other thing. It really means something to people when you do it. It's something that's like unconscious, that's been communicated through the performance, you know?
Yeah.
It's the mind blower aspect, you know, the professional mind blower. I'm not wearing the shirt right now, but I have shirts.
Professional mind blower?
Professional mind blower shirts.
Yeah, it's like when these people that like go to NBA games, right? And it might be a game in the middle of the season. So maybe the star player's like, I'm going to sit this one out. But then somebody who's like, damn, I came here to see Steph Curry.
It hurts a little bit.
It's like, oh man, I came out and they didn't even play. Like, so you got to treat it like that. Is like, this might be new to somebody. And even if it's not,
and you never know what it means.
This anyway.
You don't know what it means, and you love it anyway, right?
Yeah. Even it's something that I'm doing because I love it,
right? Because people fall into that trap too of like, I always think like, what you'd have to do to cure that is just remember why you even like doing this in the first place, right? Because like, there's a reason you start doing something, but then you fall into that trap of like, oh, but I don't have this level of success. Oh, there's only so many people here tonight. Oh, this didn't even, like, the last week hasn't been going that great. Like, you fall into this trap of, like, placing yourself in whatever moment you're in right now. When the truth is, when I had Claire Parlett on here, she told me success is not linear. And to me, that's such a great way to put it. Because there's, like, it's like a stock that goes up and down. And if you're on, like, a downtrend, that doesn't mean it's not going to turn right around a week from now. But it's, like, also feel that downtrend out. Like, don't like deny it, but like feel it out, because that's the reality you're in. Like,
This too shall pass. Yeah.
and you're doing it for a reason. Like, don't forget why you're doing it, because you like it.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah. There was a guy, the guy I told you was running that new show. He asked me for advice on hosting, and I gave him all these tips. And in the end, I was like, but remember to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, have fun. That's why we do this. This should be a fun thing. A very curious thing I've been noticing about comedy that I talk to my friends a lot about now is it's supposed to be a fun thing, but there's so many people who are like comics that are just so cynical.
Yeah.
And they're like, and I know people go through things and they have their problem. A lot of the comedians are depressed or things like that. But I see a lot of comedians that's like, are you even having fun, man? Because it should be fun. Especially everything that you do, like, that's not like a conventional job, you kind of do because it's fun for you, right? Like, if it's like singing, if it's biking, if it's doing comedy, it's fun for you. And there's a lot of comics that I see like, are you having fun right now? Like, it's probably the reason you started, so you always gotta remember to go back to that. When I get nervous before shows, I lose a lot of nervousness first by practicing, right? But in the end, I remember, Marcos, whenever you don't have fun, it doesn't go well for you. So remember that this is about having fun. People came out here to have fun, to laugh. So I told them in the end, I gave them all these tips, and I was like, just have fun, man. I was like, that's in the end, you practiced, you cared for this show, you promoted it, but have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget that. Don't lose that. Don't let it become just work.
Let me see if I can find it right here. This book, it's called Mastering Stand-Up, right?
Woo!
And I think it's right here.
I got to read that.
Very end right here. Rule number 12, have fun. Stand-up is the one endeavor I know of where having fun is actually a requirement, and it's a requirement for this reason. When individuals become an audience, a transformation takes place. They stop feeling what each of them is feeling individually, and they start to feel collectively what the performer is feeling. If the audience picks up from you that there's nowhere else on earth you'd rather be than on stage talking to them, then they start thinking, I'm having a ball here listening to this guy. If, however, you go on stage thinking, Christ, let me get this over with, then the audience will start thinking, get this over with. Before each of our shows, I ask the comedians, what's the most important thing tonight? The answer is, have fun.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's beautiful. Yeah.
You're right.
You get what you give.
And it's a real, I mean, like, you can over philosophize comedy, of course.
Yeah.
It's a very easy thing where ultimately what we're doing is very silly. Ultimately, the goal is to just be silly. But there is real truth in the fact that, like, there's an energy exchange that's initiated by you on stage. It's whatever you're bringing, more so than a lot of other things, because it's only you. You don't have a backing track. Like, I at least have a beat. Like, you don't even have that. You just got to have pure silence. Ideally, you have pure silence.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, nobody's talking or heckling. Yeah. There's so many comedians who have great jokes, and I'm like, say it with more energy, man.
Yeah.
Emphasize the punch. Give them, like, have fun. Like, there's a comedian who's my favorite right now, Jeff R. Curry. He's phenomenal. But he laughs so much on stage.
Right.
He seems like a little kid, like he's having fun. And then when he does crowd work, he's really good at it. And he like does really good crowd work. Like he shoots back at somebody with something really funny. You could see that he's impressed himself and that he's having fun. He's like, oh, like I said that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm having a ball out here. But there's comedians that get up there and they treat the show like they are better than the show. Like I'm above this show. Like I'm here because I have to be, because I'm just trying to get a rep in or something. You feel that and you're like, I'm not having fun anymore. Like,
I once saw a comic, like, he went first, and then after he went first, he spoke with the person running the show after, and he was like saying, man, like, if you're gonna book me, don't put me first next time. Like, that audience was dead. I had to wake them up. Like, that did not go well. And he just kind of left upsettedly. And to me, that would be such a bad look. Like, like, I wouldn't even want to look like that to other people.
No.
Like that guy who does that. Because the truth is, like, in my mind, it doesn't matter if you're the opener, the closer, or the whatever. Like, you own your spot. Like, you make that your spot. You can't blame. It's like not blaming the audience.
Exactly.
Because that's what you kind of blame them.
Like to talk about like a sport, you should learn all your strengths. Like, you should learn how to be the opener. You should learn how to be the closer. You should take on those challenges.
Yeah.
Right? No, you should learn how to be the opener so you can earn being the closer. But yeah, like, kind of like you say, you should play all positions. You should be able to do all of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got put
know
on.
your role and shut your mouth. You know.
It's like, I'm put on first. Okay, then it's my job to. I mean, ideally, the host wakes up the crowd. But doesn't matter, whatever position you're in, you got to be like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
Well, and like if you're really great, you would be the opener, and you'd be so good that they'd be thinking, man, he should have been the closer.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's up to you.
Yeah, it'd be ugly if that guy. I don't know how the rest of that show went, but it'd be hilarious if that guy said that, and then everybody after him started doing better. And then it's like you get humbled real quick. You're saying it's the crowd, but because I've seen that happen. I've seen some people are like, I went first. The crowd kind of sucked, but then the second guy does great. It's like, is it really? Like, I feel like you just did not bring your A game. You do have to expect, as the beginner, a lot of the times, as good as you might be, if you guys are all kind of on the same level, the last few guys are going to get more laughs than you. Because the crowd has been there more time. Now they're acclimated. They probably had a drink or two. But it's understanding how the art works. Oh, I did really well. Oh, my last weren't screams like I'm used to getting or something. It's okay. They're still getting into it.
Right.
And that's what it is. It's understanding. It's not being like, oh, I hate them. No. It's just they're getting into that trance. But if you're phenomenal, you're going to be good no matter what.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it that way. Like if you're somebody who closes all the time and then you opened once, the dynamics of a show would naturally make the audience a little bit like stiffer. Like you kind of have to.
You might not get the same laughs that you've been getting closing every time when you're the beginner.
Right.
Because you are getting them warmed up.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a drastic difference. It's not going to be like, oh, they didn't laugh from their screams, so they didn't laugh at all. But usually it's like when you open and you see that same set versus when you were one of the last ones, there's more laughs when you're like closer to the end. That's been my experience as a less than 2 years comedian, you know?
But that makes perfect sense though. Yeah. I mean, obviously if you had a show full of like straight up just beasts, then it would be different. But like for the most, like people who are just gonna come with their A game over and over and over again, because that exists. But most shows, I feel like there is gonna be a sort of rhythm that slides you into it. That's just kind of gonna be the natural cadence of things.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about you went back home just recently in another competition. I think the last episode you were just about to, and now it's happened. So what was that like?
Oh, I went to a festival in Amsterdam. Yeah, I won the competition last year. And so the prize was performing at that festival this year. It was very fun, man. It was a big room. And it was like, I would say 120 people or something.
Nice.
But it was funny to be back there because Dutch people, they kind of laugh more on the inside than on the outside. So like I got laughs, but a lot of it was like, and then but all my friends were like, dude, that was amazing. That was fun. It was nice to be back in Amsterdam. It was the perfect week. We got the perfect weather. I did like 5 different shows. I did my favorite one, which is at a bar called Vice Versa, which is a Saturday night show. Phenomenal. Like it was a great week. The festival went great. But yeah, now I'm glad to be here, man. I feel like I went back there and people were like, you've gotten so much sharper. And I'm like, it's a bit tougher in the States, man. Like you gotta be sharp. And they were like, you're just shooting out jokes.
Really?
And and I was like, yeah, over there, the open mics, you really gotta show out. Like you gotta do well. Yeah. Although I hate to cut it short. I think I got to bounce.
No, you're good, man.
I'm so sorry.
That's a good way to end it right there. I mean,
Thank you for asking.
You know how it goes in this show. At the very end, you got a final message for the people. You want to send them home with something beautiful. It's your chance. And also tell them those social medias because they've been stuck with us for this long. They might as well get a little bit more.
Heck yeah. So social media, Instagram, I'm Marcos and Chicago. But like Emily in Paris, but Marcos and Chicago in Spanish. So it's Marcos EN Chicago. I also have a new page called WYAF Comedy. May 10th, the second edition of Wow, You're Actually Funny. We're going to have 6 great comics. And a message. Man, have a difficult year. Work hard. Don't burn yourself out, but there's no difference between you and the people who are doing it on the biggest stage. It's the work that you put in and the love that you put into it. So that's my message.
Yes. And you are what you are. With that being said, folks, Rose Radio. Clocking out.
Woo. Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost in the mess. It's hysterical, the picture that